Welcome everyone to the next to the last chapter of our Rosh Hashanah gatherings. Hearing the sound of the shofar is a central part of our Rosh Hashanah observance and one of the key mitzvot of the holidays. I'd like to thank all the shofar blowers whose efforts we'll see and hear this afternoon. The sound of the shofar is a cosmic alarm clock, waking us to the act of repentance and renewal that we need to perform as part of this holiday observance. We celebrate the birthday of the world, Hayom Harat Olam, and we vow to move forward, increasing our efforts in those central qualities: teshuvah, return and repentance, tefillah, service and prayer, and tzedakah, acts of justice and loving kindness. In parallel to those three, the shofar service has three sections: Malchuyot, God's sovereignty; Zichronot, remembrance; and Shofarot, the sounding of the shofar, or revelation. Each of these framed by Bible verses that refer to that quality. In the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, there shall be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration proclaimed by the sound of the shofar.
Hear now the shofar, acclaim the world's creation, and now recall Isaac's awesome trial. Hear now the shofar, you who stand at Sinai, and now proclaim the rule of Israel's God. Hear now the call and turn in true repentance, and now affirm the triumph of good. We are made in the divine image. We are the house of Israel, a kingdom of priests, a holy people. Know then the sound, discover its meaning. Awake, you sleepers, from your sleep. Rouse yourselves, you slumberers, out of your slumber. Examine your deeds and turn to God in repentance. Remember your Creator, you who are caught up in the daily round, losing sight of eternal truth. You who are wasting your years in vain pursuits that neither profit nor save. Look closely at yourselves. Improve your ways and your deeds. Abandon your evil ways, your unworthy schemes, every one of you.
Our shofar service has three themes: Malchuyot, or God's majesty; Zichronot, or remembrance; Shofarot, or the shofar's revelation. We know these themes because they appear over and over again in our liturgy: creation, redemption, and revelation. With each set of blasts, we get closer and closer to our divine core. With each set of blasts, we get closer and closer to truth. If you are able, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. You may be seated.
Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, eternal God, let them humble themselves. To your glorious name let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your sovereign rule. that you may reign over them soon and forever.
For you are sovereign, and to all eternity you will reign in glory.
The Torah proclaims, your eternal God is with you. Shout acclaim to your sovereign.
The psalmist affirms, lift up your heads, O gates. Lift yourself up, O ancient doors. Let the one who reigns in glory enter. Who is it that reigns in glory? The God of all being is the one who reigns in glory.
The prophet declares, I am the first and I am the last. I am the only one.
As it is written in the Torah, Hear, O Israel, the eternal is our God. The eternal God is one. Our God and God of our ancestors. May you rule in glory over all the earth, and let your grandeur be acclaimed throughout the world. Reveal the splendor of your majesty to all who dwell on earth, that all your works may know you as their maker, and all the living acknowledge you as their creator. Then all who breathe shall say, the sovereign God of Israel is the one whose dominion extends to all creation. Blessed is the sovereign God of all the earth, who hallows the house of Israel in the day of remembrance.
If you are able, please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Kia Shivarim Shruah Tekiah
Tekiah Shavarim Tekiah
Tekiah.
You may be seated.
You remember the work of creation. You are mindful of all that you have made. You unravel every mystery. All secret things are known to you, for there is no forgetfulness in your presence, nothing hidden from your sight. You remember every deed, you know every doer. All things past and present are known to you, eternal God, and every person's acts are remembered and judged. This you made known from the beginning, this you revealed from old.
This is the day of the world's beginning. Now we recall creation's first day. On this day, the fate of nations is in the balance, for war or peace, for famine or plenty. So too, with every single creature, life and death are in the balance. Every mortal's record is set before you, our acts and our schemes, our thoughts and desires.
Blessed is the one who does not forget you, who looks to you and finds courage. Those who seek you shall not stumble. Those who trust you shall not be ashamed.
The Torah proclaims, God heard the enslaved people's groaning and remembered the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
The psalmist affirms, You remembered your covenant with us. In your great love you comforted us.
The prophet declares, I will remember the covenant I made with you in the days of your youth, and I will establish with you an everlasting covenant.
As it is written in the Torah, I will remember the covenant with their ancestors, whom I led out of Egypt in the sight of the nations to be their God. I am the eternal God.
Our God and God of all generations, remember us with favor and grant us your compassionate deliverance. Remember your love for us, the covenant you made with Abraham on Mount Moriah. Remember his boundless love for you and willingness to offer you all that was his. Show us your compassion, then, and in your goodness, look with favor upon your people and your loved ones.
For you are the one who remembers all that has been forgotten. There is no forgetfulness in your presence. Blessed is the Eternal One who remembers the covenant.
If you are able, please rise.
Tekiah. Shivarim Teruah. Tekiah.
Tekiah. Trua. Tekiah.
You may be seated.
The Torah proclaims, as the third day dawned at Sinai, there was thunder and lightning, a dense cloud over the mountain, and a loud blast of the shofar. The people trembled. The psalmist affirms, God stands revealed amid acclamation, the Eternal One amid the sound of the shofar. The prophet declares, all you who dwell on earth, who inhabit the world, when a banner is raised, take note, and when the shofar is sounded, take heed. As it is written, the Eternal will appear, God's arrow will flash like lightning, the Eternal God will cause the shofar to be sounded, and stride forth with the storm winds of the south. Thus, O God, will you shield your people with peace. Our God and God of all generations, sound the great shofar to proclaim our freedom. Raise the banner for redemption of the oppressed. Signal liberty for all those who are in exile. Bring lasting joy to Zion and to Jerusalem, your holy city. We praise you, the merciful God, who hearkens to the sound of the shofar.
If you are able,
Tekiah.
please rise.
Shivarim Teruah. Tekiah.
Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah Gedulah. Good job, bud.
You may be seated. And with that, we bring to a close the various segments of our Rosh Hashanah gathering together. We're going to conclude today with Areshet S'fateinu, which is a common song for the ending of the shofar service. This particular version is a video produced by the North American Jewish Choral Festival. Keep your eyes peeled. I counted 4 times that I saw myself in this video. As a hint, I am wearing a purple shirt. Shana Tova.
Today.